What's up, guys? RP Swag here with a deck profile of a deck that I just recently finished. It's a fun deck for this format. This format's good now that windups are kind of hit and sectors are kind of hit, and it opened it up to a lot of new decks. So this is a deck that I just built, and it's fun. It's kind of like a Gallis deck, but it has a dragon engine in it, which just it helps because dragons need mill cards, and Gallis is a good mill card. Alright, here we go. 1 BLS, obviously boss monster for Chaos. Chaos Sorcerer at 1, but it's still good. It's still good for moving Eclipse Swiver and get over your opponent's stuff. Good removal. 2 Caius, the best Monarch, obviously. He's really good in this format still. He removes something. You can remove himself for game. Still just a real good card. And the last Chaos boss monster, I guess, would be Dad. Now we got the Dragon Engine. 1 Red Eyes. Yeah, it's at 1, but it's pretty easy to add to your hand with the Eclipse Wyvern. Easy to get out, easy to recycle, whatever. 3 Light Pulsars. Bring back the Red Eyes, bring back whatever else you have in the grave. Easy to get out, good removal for your graveyard, which is what you need. 2 Dark Flare. I like him a lot. Some people don't like him. I like him. I think he has a good effect to send Wyvern to the grave, and then you can remove a Wyvern that you already had in the grave to add to hand, or whatever else. Dragon Tech that I like is Purpley Thorny Dragon, 5-star, 2200. With Torrential being at 2 and Mirror Force being at 2 this format, I just felt like it's a good card to play when a lot of people are going to be relying on their Mirror Forces to save them. If you swing during battle, Mirror Force, you drop this still during battle, and then you can swing for 22 direct if all they had in defense was that Mirror Force. Also, he's good removal for Red Eyes. If I don't have anything else, something else gets destroyed, drop him, free special, and then I get to remove it for Red Eyes and start the loop. And then 2 Wyvern, just to search out for everything else. Easy mill card, 4-star light, whatever. Obviously 2 tour guides, and then just targets, Sangan, Night Assailant, kind of staple. For mill and destruction, kind of, I only run 1 Lila. This deck is really explosive, and with Dad being in there, I can pull out Dad pretty easily, so I can kind of pop back row with him. 2 Raikou. Same thing, destruction, good to set first turn. A lot of times people summon their Thunder Kings thinking it's a Sangan. They just run into your Raikou, pop the Thunder King, get out of the way, pop their back row or whatever. I do run 1 Divine Dragon. I feel like he's moderately useful. He's a dark, which doesn't hurt. If you mill your Dad, you can get him back to your hand, and you can ditch like a Plague Spreader or something that you want in the graveyard anyway. So I feel like it's a decent tech with this. 2 Card Troopers, same thing, mill all your targets, mill your dragons, and he has a good draw effect, which helps. And then next we got the Gallis part of it. 1 Doom. This card sucks. Like, you never want to have this card in your hand unless you have the other pieces, the Birdman and the Gallis. So I only run 1. He's a wind. He dies at end phase. There's really nothing good about him besides the OTK, so I only run 1 of them. 2 Gallis. I used to run 3, but I got kind of tight for space. I wanted to add some other stuff. So I only run 2. He's an Earth, too, so he's not that useful in the graveyard, but he's a free special if you need to sack for Caius, or do some Synchro, or Exceeding, or whatever it is. He's still good. And then 2 Birdman to finish out the loop. Birdman's also good in this deck. 3-star Tuner, 3-star, good for Exceeding. You can sync with some of your 4 stars. I got Zephyros, the Dark Diviner, Dragon, whatever it is. And then for Black Rose, blow the field, and then I can drop Purpley Thorny. That's a good combo that I've done a few times because I just have a free 2200 that they don't have a field, and then I can remove for Red Eyes and start going. Hand traps. 1 Trag. You do have pretty good hand presence with this deck, but still, I only think you need to run 1. I mean, I'm pretty tight for space. I'm running 41 cards, so I'm kind of tight on that. 1 Gores. Obviously, Gores. 1 Maxi. I'm thinking about siding a second one. Sometimes it's just too cloggy if you have 2 in your hand and it's dead, but it is still useful if you open up with it and you are still playing wind-ups, or you're playing some rogue samurai decks or whatever else. They're helpful. And they're good against the mirror match too. 2 DD Crows. This card is just really good this format, obviously. Against Dark Worlds, against heroes, when they Hero Blast or whatever, you just remove their targets. When they Miracle, remove their heroes. It kills Monster Reborn, kills Call of the Haunted, kills Pot of Avarice. It's just a really good card, and I think a lot of people underuse it. And then I got 3 Effect Failure. Why not? I run 39 monsters in this deck. Might as well run Effect Failures. Just some attacks. I run a Zephyros. It's helpful if I have a Chaos Sorcerer on the field or a BLS that I already removed something. I can just bounce it back to hand for Zephyros, and then I just re-special it, and then I can remove another thing, or I can attack, whatever. Plague Spreader, obviously really good. I mill a lot in this deck, so just getting back easy. Instant special summon for Caius. Good synchro, whatever else. I only run 2 spells. First one, Heavy Storm, obviously blow up the back row before I win. And then the second one, I run a Soul Release. And mostly because not that many people see that card coming. And it's really good against most powerful decks in the meta. Wind-ups are still really good even though they're hit. So if you Soul Release when most of their stuff's in the grave, that when they draw the rat or whatever, it's kind of dead. Makes Pot of Avarice dead also. It's really good against Dark Worlds, just removes their dark targets. Good against heroes. And it's also good for my own deck. If I have a Wyvern in the graveyard and I really need to remove it and I don't have anything to remove it with, I can, banish my Wyvern and then 4 of my opponent's monsters. Or if I have too many darks in the target for Dad, I can just remove my own dark targets. So yeah, there's the main deck. Side deck, 2 Jinzo. Everybody hates on this card. This card puts in work. Anti-meta decks, TG stun, anything. Just nobody really sees a Jinzo coming, and it kind of destroys. Obviously, Torrential, which is a 2, Mirror Force, which is a 2. Everybody's running Bottomless. Everybody's running Deep Prison. Really good card this format. 2 Fossil Dynas. I run Fossil Dynas because not a lot of people see it coming because I special a lot, but I can set it first turn. If I'm playing wind-ups, they'll blow up thinking that they can beat me, swing into my Fossil Dyna, and then just pop their field, and then I'll win next turn. 2 Silver Sentinels. I side these because most of the time if I'm playing Insectors, which are still pretty common actually, like Ninja variants or whatever else, I'll set this card and they'll pop it thinking, it's a skill drain or it's a Torrential, Mirror Force, whatever it is, and then they already started their destruction. So at the end of the turn they're gonna have something on the field, so it's a free destruction essentially, and a target for their crow or for their Hornet. Also against Dark Worlds, because I set cards, obviously you don't want them to drag it down out of your hand, and then at end phase you can pop the field spell, pop their back cards, whatever else you need to do. Second Lila, just for back row destruction. Third DD Crow, same Insectors, Dark Worlds, Heroes, whatever else. 1 Battle Fader, just in case, I played an Insector deck actually, I just added this in there because it was still, I was surprised, granted he drew like the perfect hand, but with a Dragonfly, the Sword, Hornet, Gigamantis, you can still get an OTK off with that deck, so just 1 just for attack, and then some monster. With the side deck I wanted to keep it mostly monsters because that's kind of the theme of the deck. You don't really want to mill your spells with Gallis, so just more monsters that you wouldn't mind milling. Chaos Hunter, he's easy to get out. You just ditch a Plague or a Zephyros or an Eclipse Weaver and you have a lot of targets to ditch with him. Also, he's good against heroes because they can't Miracle Fusion with him in the field. He's good against Mirror Match. He's good against other Chaos variants because your opponent can't move from the graveyard, obviously. Then I have 2 Prohibitions. It's a 1-card answer for a lot of decks. If I play like Rogue, Final Countdown decks, or Chainburn decks, or whatever else, you can call anything with that. An MST. I did another Lila instead of an MST, even though MST is better. Just because, like I said, I need monsters to mill. I don't want to mill spell and traps. And then 2 Soul Takers for heroes, essentially. Just makes Shining mistiming. Against mirror matches, makes Light Pulsar mistiming. And yeah, that's the side deck. And then for extra deck, it's pretty standard. Zen Mains, Leviathan, Leviair, Giga Brilliant, Drummer Boy. That guy puts in work. That's probably my favorite card in here. Acid Golem, Butterfly Assassin. That card is too good this format. Force Focus. This would be a Photon Strike Bouncer. I just don't have one. Obviously this isn't as good, but it's still kind of close to the same thing. Magical Android, Orient Dragon. Orient Dragon's a good 6. I don't run Gaia Knight or anything like that because most of my beat sticks are pretty big, and I don't need to like a 26 vanilla. But he's good if my opponent has like something that's irritating me, or a synchro that I need to get off the field. Black Rose, Stardust, Scrap Dragon, Mistworm, and then just for fun, I can bring this guy out kind of easy. And I actually was playing a lot more Lightsworn and Chaos type decks this last week at locals, so I brought him out one time, and then the moment he hit the field, my opponent just scooped, which was kind of funny because he had like 2 JDs, a Lila, and some other jank in his hand. So yeah, there's that. Thanks for watching.